the Nation Militia crew. Man, today we got a special today. It is going to be fan day, right? Y'all's turn to pick. You're the GM, you decide. We're going to pull up a couple scenarios. I was going to be on the computer, but I don't know if y'all can hear outside. We are under a damn tornado warning and severe thunderstorm warning, so it's lightning, it's going cray cray. My background going cray cray. See if I can fix that. A little bit more light. Nope, that's not gonna help. Oh man. Um, but yeah, so what we are going to do is we're gonna pull up the mock draft. We're gonna simulate the first round a couple times. We're gonna see who is the most likely to be there, and then we're gonna pull up some scenarios. Would you rather, right? Would you rather AJ Halsey? Would you rather Caden McDonald? Would you rather Denzel Boston? Would you rather a guy like, you know, um, Ehenakor, right? Or somebody else? Well, we're going to break that down. We're going to see where this draft falls a couple times. Again, if everything goes away soon, this storm is supposedly supposed to blow through. So, again, I don't know how good my service is. If y'all can hear me, if you can see me, let me know. I'd appreciate it. But yeah, there's been lots of talks about, the draft starts for the Raiders. That green is going to drive me nuts. The draft starts for the Raiders in the second round, right? Pick 36. That's when it all starts. Pretty much everybody got penciled in Fernando Mendoza as their guy, number one. Spytek and Kubiak seem to be on a different kind of a different agenda, right? They ain't giving nothing away. They're doing their due diligence. They're checking out, all the rocks, all the creases, all the crannies of these players, bringing them in, talking to them. Speaking of bringing in, they just brought in a guy who a lot of people has as the number one defensive tackle until he got injured. Mr. Caleb Banks, right? Just a monster. Huge athletic man. But he has a foot injury, right? I thought it was a break. I was wrong. It's a hairline fracture, which is not as bad, right? You could play on a hairline fracture. I mean, the guy was out there and still doing drills, I do believe, afterwards, until he was like, all right, I can't do it no more. Y'all seen he was out there for a little bit, and then he didn't do the rest of the drills. So, but there's a lot of talks, right, of some of these guys that could fall. There's talks even that Amari Cooper could somehow fall out of the first round. Now, that would be just crazy for me, but it would be a damn good day for Las Vegas. Even if he's up there at 25, 26, do the Raiders pull the trigger and try to jump up to the first round, right? We've heard a lot of talks about teams in the top 10 wanting to trade down, but there's not a lot of takers. Nobody wants to give up that first round pick for next year, which, I've been saying that for I don't know how many months. Nobody's going to try to move up and get any of these guys. Maybe the Cowboys, if they really think they have to get Sonny Styles in the first, 5 picks, or if they want to go Caleb Downs, maybe that way. But other than that, there's not a lot of teams out there that are saying, yeah, I'll give you my first round pick next year with all these quarterbacks coming out, right? With all, with a chance of Jeremiah Smith being out there, right? A lot of teams aren't giving up that number one pick for next year. And rightfully so, right? Rightfully so. So with that being said, right, we're going to do some scenarios, some mock drafts of would you rather. I had it all pulled up, but then the damn power went off, so let me redo this. While I'm doing this, what's y'all number one mock draft simulator, right? Alec M was good, appreciate you. What's your number one mock draft simulator? Is it PFF, the paid version where you can do all 7 mocks? Is it PSFN, right? Do you like to use the new ESPN one that came out? There's also a new one. What the hell is that other new one? There's a new one that's been dragging around X. I can't think of the name right now. But let me know. What is y'all favorite mock draft simulator? What would you like to use? Because we are going to do, like I said, a couple. It would help probably if I had my glasses on, I could see. So we're gonna do a couple. We're gonna see where teams land. All right. So we have PSFN. Oh yeah, the new one A to Z. We have ESPN analyst, and the other one has not reached the thing yet. Hold on. Let me see if I can see what this is called. I think I have it on X. If anybody in the chat knows, let me know. Let me know it's the one going around X. Let's see bookmarks. That's probably not it. Go with profile, replies. Yeah, man, I just did one the other day. It should be on here. If y'all don't follow me on X, it's at RaidersRebel _ Oh, Raiders Unleashed. I don't even know my own shit. Raiders Unleashed _ Yeah, that's me. That's me. So pop over there, give me a follow. All right, where the hell is this mock draft simulator? All right, I don't know what it is, so we're just gonna go with the ESPN one. I used the ESPN one the other day. It seemed like it was, a little bit. That green is driving me nuts, bro. I apologize. ESPN is pretty good. Appreciate. Yeah, so let's go with the ESPN one. Let's go with the Raiders. We don't want to go all 7. We'll just go to 5. See what happens. Just give you an idea who would be there, where and when. Let's go slow because I'm going to call out a little bit of these. And also I'm going to give you all the opportunity, right? Do you want to trade up? Do you want to trade down? Is there somebody there? We'll stop at around 25. I think that's a good spot. That's 7 picks before the end of the first round. I know Miami Dolphins sitting there at 30. I'm sure they would want to move off that spot and pick up a couple more picks, being where they're at. So if you're the Dolphins, if you're a Dolphins fan, let me know. I should have put all the teams hashtagged in here, so maybe all the teams, all teams fans would show up. But anyways, that's what we're rocking with. We're going 5. We're going slow. Let's enter the draft so low and start this draft. All right, so I don't think they have any trade offers. We're just going to go Mendoza, start the draft, get out my trusty. Can y'all see it? I can't see it. What the hell? Green screen. Jim Plunkett draft notebook. Yes, the Jim Plunkett. If you don't have a Jim Plunkett, if you don't have a Jim Plunkett draft notebook, say that 5 times fast and you're a Raider fan and you like the draft, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? The greatest players of all time and my hero growing up. All right, shit, I forgot to stop it. Pause. Damn it. I was talking too much. Son of a... All right, so we stopped it at 29. Not where we wanted to. Alpha Kasi Raider was good, my guy. So, yeah, we got the trusty notebook. Damn it. All right, so I was going to stop it at 25. At 25, if we would have stopped it there, we had a chance to trade up for Dylan Thieneman, Keldrick Falk would have been nice. Caleb Lameau still there. And Colton Hood. Colton Hood goes in the first round to the Houston Texans. I really thought they would go offensive line there, but, man, I got to do something with this light. Hold up. This is not right. It's killing me, bro. Killing me, Smalls. That one's probably not good. Let's try that one. That didn't help whatsoever. Plunkett the man. Yes, he was. All right, man. So, again, Colton Hood at 26. So, left on the board is the Chiefs. We're not trading with them. Dolphins, Patriots, Seahawks. I think we'd have a pretty good chance of trading with the Seahawks. If something came up, that's a pretty good spot for them to be in. If the Raiders, had somebody that they wanted to pick. But damn it, I paused the draft and it's not showing me picks. All right, I don't like this ESPN one. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. All right, so Monroe Freeling went to the Panthers at 19. KC Concepcion off the board at 20 to the Dallas Cowboys. What they got cooking over there? The Steelers, Ty Simpson, 21. So there is a reason he showed up to the draft. Man, this is horrible. I don't like this mock draft simulator because it's not showing me who's on the damn board. Yeah, we're gonna have to do a different one. This one ain't. It's not helping the. It only shows you the picks that are available when it gets to your pick. So for me, that's not gonna work for what I'm trying to do here. So rip it and flip it was good. Good to use Pro Football Network one. Yeah, I'm gonna have to switch to that because this one. Anyways, if we were to pick at 36, on the board would be Zion Young, Missouri, Anthony Hill Jr., Eli Stovers, Brendan Chasen, Chris Johnson is one of the guys that is on the thumbnail, right? Oh no, he wasn't on the thumbnail. My bad. It was AJ Halsey. Um, Zach Branch is available. Max E. Hennicore is available. Chris Brazel, Jeremy Bernard, and then Gabe Akis. So most of the guys that I had on here are not on here. So let's just finish this draft and see what the hell. Who would y'all take? Who would y'all take? Chris Johnson is awesome. He is there. Also, Zion Young is there. But then the big dog, right? Max Ehenekor is also there. Zach Branch at 67. Well, they have him listed right here as the 40th best player according to the ESPN mock draft simulator. They got him at 40. I got him in my top 5. He's in my top 5. Maybe top, I think it was top 7. But he's close. He was in there. Anyways, let me know who y'all want. Somebody got to decide. I'm taking Chris Bell or Caden McDonald at 36. All right, well, Caden McDonald is not there. Blake Miller is there. I like that, but he's way down the line. Neither one of you guys is there. All right, the hell with this draft. I'm going to pick for this draft. I'm going to go Chris Johnson. And we'll just finish this one up real quick and see what happens. Texas took Zion Young. Yeah, this ain't going to work, man. This is way too slow. Way too slow. All right, let's get the hell out of this one. PSFN, it's not as accurate. I can change it and make it ESPN's. Or I can make it. Let's go with Ian Cummings draft. Nah, I can't do that. The Athletics. What do y'all want to do? What do y'all want to do? You got PFSN, the consensus. We can go ESPN. We can go PFF. We can go the Athletic. We can use the ADP. You can use Jacob Infante. Anybody even know who that is? Where do you have Skylar Bell? It's depending on how the draft falls. If they trade back somewhere into the second and pick up another third, if they think he's going to fall to the third, I would definitely take him there. But if if there's a run on receivers early in the second, you might have to take him there. It might be a little bit early, but third round, I mean, we have what, the second pick in the third round or the third pick in the third round? I think that would be fine. All right, PFF. Let's go PFF grades. They haven't really updated lately, but we'll go that. PFF 5 Raiders Inter Solo. All right, on the board. Yeah, see, this is why I don't like this one. They want to give us just a whole bunch of ridiculous. I'm gonna restart this. Sorry, Alec, I can't do that one either. Just saying. We'll pick PFN, but we'll go with a different one. We are going to try something different. We're going to try a different consensus board. Let's see. What is that? We're going to go with the Athletic. Nah, that's gay. Let's go with ESPN. I like the way they had their board. I just didn't like the fact that you couldn't pick the players, right? So we're going with ESPN. Start the draft. Here we go. Fernando Mendoza. The Jets want to give us 2, 16, 33, 65. We're not trading. Reject. If the Steelers, would you take for Fernando Mendoza 21, 53, a first and a second next year? I mean, you can move that 53 and that 76, and you know, they're both second, third round picks. All right, let's reject all those. Um, Fernando Mendoza is the pick. That's what we're going with. David Bailey next. Arvell Reese. Ruben Bain to the Titans. Jeremiah Love to the Giants. I've been saying that and saying that. I would not be surprised if Jeremiah Love goes to the Giants. Do you know how to share the screen? I can share the screen, but not on here, can I? Can I share it on here? Because if I could, that would be nice. That would be nice. It sounds like it stopped raining, so I might just hop over to the computer. All right, the Donkeys want to throw us 62. I forgot to stop it again. Damn it. Reject. I'm not trading with the Donkeys. All right, so this is the way the last half of the draft went. If you were to try to trade up with the Dolphins traded from 35. Oh, the Bears traded down to. All right, so there were some trades in here. Like I said, the Dolphins would be a trade team. And in this mock draft, they traded up to 25 to grab Avion Terrell. That's a nice pickup. That's a nice pull right there. I like that. Peter Woods went 26 to the Buffalo Bills. Casey Concepcion. A lot of people have him mocked to the 49ers. It's probably just, it's a done deal if he's there. Emmanuel McNeil Warren went to the Texans at 28. Cassius Howe. I know Rip and Flip is not going to like this. I don't like it whatsoever. Cassius Howe to the Kansas City Chiefs. Man, that's rough. That's rough. That's rough. That's rough. And then Caleb Banks off the board to the Bears. So the Bears moved back from 25 to 30. Still picked up Caleb Banks. Caden McDonald off the board to the Patriots. I could see that. That seems like a Mike Vrabel pick. Zion Young to Seattle at 32. That's a nice pickup. The Raiders could have popped up and got Emmanuel Pregon. Chase Basantes is off the board to my guy, Mike LaFleur, over there in the Cardinals. Anthony Hill Jr. to the Titans. That's a nice pickup. And we are on the board. We are looking at. All right, so would you rather? Somehow none of these are coming up to what I thought they were going to be. 500 mock drafts earlier, and they were all pretty much what I thought. All right, so would you rather? Colton Hood at 36. Would you rather? Ty Simpson at 36. Would you rather? Brendan Sissy. Chris Johnson is there. Zachariah Branch is there. Max E. Hennecourt is there as well. Man, it's starting to look like Max E. Hennecourt might slide because some people are worried about the 9 5/8 or 9.5 inch hands, whatever he has for being 6'4". I don't know how you'd be worried about this absolute monster for the 5 years he's played, the way he's developed, to be even talked about in the first or second round is just massive to me. So I would take Max E. Hennecourt right here. But would you rather? Chris Johnson, Max E. Hennecourt, Gabe Akis, which is another, next to Max Crosby on the other side would be absolute fire. Caden McDonald is you have Christian Miller on here. Let's see where Caden McDonald went. Oh, Caden McDonald, yeah, he went to I just told y'all that. he, he just went to the Patriots. My bad, my bad. All right, so let me know. Let me know who y'all got, man. Who y'all got in this? What other wide receivers are available? All right, wide receivers on the board: Zachariah Branch, Chris Brazel II, Jeremy Bernard. I would move back to get okay, but let me get before I say that. Antonio Williams, Malachi Fields, Ted Hurst, Skylar Bell, Elijah Surratt, Dejon Stribling. And before you say take a wide receiver, let me tell you, Stribling, they're at 76. We pick at 67, or might be, just depending on the run. But after that, man, Deion Burks is a guy that if he puts on some muscle, man, if he puts on, okay, I'm not going to give him that comp, but some of y'all might not know where I'm going with that comp, but some of y'all might not. But if he puts on a little bit of muscle, oh my, oh my. I really like Deion Burks. I think he is highly underrated. But you got Jacoby Lane, Bryce Lance, right? Kevin Coleman, Brennan Thompson is another one of those guys that Malik Benson came in for a top visit, right? I feel like you could wait at receiver. You know, if all else matters, I mean, if nothing else happens and the Raiders have to rock with the receiver room they have right now, I don't feel like that's a problem, right? I like Cedric Jackson. I want to see what Brandon Rice has. You know, I know deep down in my soul that Jack Best is going to be one of them ones. I don't care what anybody else's opinion is, man. If you give this dude opportunities, he catches the ball. And when you have one-on-one with him, I think he can win his one-on-one matchups, right? In the zone, can he get to a zone? I don't know how much zone you're going to play if Brock Bowers is popping off, if Jalen Naylor is popping off, you know, if Jack Bech is hard to cover, right? I really don't know if you take a wide receiver at this spot when you have Colton Hood on the board. I mean, when you have Chris Johnson on the board, when you have a Max E. Hennecor, I mean, I'm gonna tell you right now, I would take Max E. Hennecor. Y'all already know that's been my pick, but I'm tired of picking him because I already have a feeling that if he's there, that's the Raiders' pick. I even have a feeling that there could be a scenario where, like I said, if he's somewhere in 25, 26, that they might even move up to get him, depending on how they feel in him. I know they hasn't brought him in for a top 30 visit, but to me, that says a lot. And I don't know if they've had any meetings with him. I know Vrabel has on the sidelines. You know, that seems to be like his guy. I'd be surprised if he gets past the New England Patriots if he's there. But if you want to go edge rusher, man, you got, you know, Gabe Akis is, I think, could be one of them ones. Keontae Scott, they have him as 48th. But my guy right here, to be honest, would be AJ Halsey. Out of all those guys on the board right there, and AJ Halsey looking projected to be somewhere around 56, I would say trade back. What do you say? Y'all want to help me? Y'all want to participate? What would you say? Do you take a Max E. Hennecor, which would be my pick? But other than that, because I've done that scenario to, you know, I beat that cow to death. I feel like AJ Halsey right here is just hard to pass on. And from what I'm hearing, he's a lot higher than 56 on their board. Now, I don't know how much of that is true. But if they like him that much, I feel like trade back would be the option. Let's propose a trade. All right, who is in front? Where do we want to go to? Who's down? I think the Miami Dolphins would be perfect. No, they're not going to give up anything because they're trying to get draft picks. The Bengals, this is a traded pick. Let's see what the Bengals want. See if we can trade with the Bengals. Let's go Bengals. We will give them 36 for 41 and 72. Rejected, likely. Ouch. How about... Damn. Y'all don't want to move up that far? All right, 30 and 189, a fifth round. I'm not just taking that. That's cray. Okay, they'll probably take that. All right, so would you move up or would you move back down from 36 to 41? That's 5 spots. And pick up 189 and 199. Yay or nay? Yay or nay? Is Bell there? Hold on, I'll get to that in a second. Chris Johnson and his elite. I don't think he makes it out of here. I would take that also. But they missed one solid play making wide receiver, like Louisville, Chris Bell, and Branch. They are missing that, but we don't know if Jalen Naylor can be that. I mean, obviously somebody believes he can, whether it was Kirk Cousins that talked him into it, whether it was their scouts that believed, Jalen Naylor could be that dude. I mean, he got a pretty penny, right? He was making, I think he's making more, somewhere around what Jacoby Myers was making, right? Maybe even a little more. So if they think that highly of him, he might be that guy. And then if you take the pressure off of Trey Tucker because he is that guy and you have Jack Besh, Trey Tucker could be a sneaky, third or fourth guy. Mesidor already gone too. All right, let's get to that. Let's see, wide receiver Chris Bell, I do believe, is gone. Oh no, Chris Bell is there at 77. That's where they got him projected at 77. So you could take Chris Bell, but we pick at 67. And if you could trade back right now and pick up another third, which I don't know, I don't see anybody willing to do that. Let's go a little deeper back. Let's try. Who would need one of these players on the board? Let's try the Lions. Let's see what the Lions got. Detroit Lions propose a trade. We will give you 36 for 50. 118. That's not even in the third. That's their next pick. That's a fourth. I don't like that. I mean, that'll give us 3/4 so we can move back up. Let's see. Yep, they would take that. Damn, they would take a lot. They're like, okay. Well, shit. All right, so to move up from 50 to 36, we can get 50, 118, and 128. Yay or nay? Our Mason Thomas is very good edge. I think we can get him in the third as well. Might go in a second. But Branch is a weapon like Tyree Hill. I mean, I like Branch. But the thing about Branch is you can get the same guy and, maybe not as strong and physical, but kind of the same guy in Deion Burks. Probably in the, in the fourth round, depending on, where I've seen people have him on their board. A lot of people aren't high on Deion Burks. And then you also have Brandon Brown, right? Another one of those guys that's small, twitched up like that. You can get some of those guys later. I know it's Zach, I know it's the bloodline for Branch when it comes to Zachariah, but I don't know. Chris Johnson, corner, SDU. Yes, he is there. Let's go Chris Johnson. Let's go. We can Chris Johnson, our trade for 50, 118, and 128. Let me know. What y'all say? That's the last proposal I got. They're willing to give us 50. And if we move down to 50, you could get your Skylar Bell. You can get your Chris trade. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of picks, right? We're trying to get the best people in this draft. Let's see if they do it. They accepted. Maybe that wasn't such a good trade. Maybe y'all shouldn't be GM, bro. What the hell? Y'all just gave up. Y'all just dropped us back 15 spots. Nah, that's good. Let's see where we're at 50. All right, so we are coming up on 50. I'm gonna reject the two trades we got, although that one does kind of look good. Two more players. All right, no, let's reject that. All right, so this is where we're at. That worked out pretty good if you wanted a receiver, right? Worked out pretty good. If you think receiver is that pick, but it might have screwed us at safety. It definitely took away our corner. There's no Chris Johnson there, which would have been a lockdown dude for many many moons. I feel if he stays healthy, might have been the pick. Let me look at the all real fast, see who is there. So we have Eli Stowers. We don't need a tight end, but you know it wouldn't hurt. Jeremy Bernard, one of my guys. I like Jeremy Bernard. I keep saying I think he's that Jacoby Meyer type dude, that hard hat guy that you know just does it all. CJ Allen here is actually stupid. Um, CJ Allen here at pick 50 is dumb. I'm saying right now. If he's on the board, I don't see the Raiders not taking him. He's a Georgia boy. He's one of the most athletic, gifted, instinct reading, great tackling linebackers, and he was in my top 5. I think I had him at 5, possibly even 4. I'd have to go back and look. But CJ Allen would make a lot of sense right here. So we have pick 50. We pick again at 67. We drop back. We picked up 2 more. We picked up a 4th, 2 more 4ths. So we have 5 4th-round picks. We can move back up if we so do prefer. Malachi Lawrence is on the board right here at 54. I would take him too. CJ had a poor workout though. CJ Johnson. Which CJ? So Max Ehenekor went 41 to the Dolphins. Chris Johnson went 44, which no wonder, I could have made that trade to the Bengals. They probably would have moved up and took Chris Johnson there. But Chris Johnson fell to them at 44. Jennings Dunker went to the Ravens. I seen the gift. Thank you. I appreciate you. Sorry, I was gonna comment on that. I just got distracted. TJ Parker went to the Saints at 48, and Antonio Williams went before all these corners, all these wide receivers. Antonio Williams, the Clemson kid, went before a lot of these guys. So all right, that's the all we have. CJ Allen. I mean, I would take him. I would take Gabe Atkins here. I would take Keontae Scott here. But I think AJ Halsey's the pick. We need a free safety. He can play both. He can play in the box. He's physical, a turnover machine. I think he has the agility, the hip movement, right? To get sideline to sideline. I think he has great COD. Change of direction, right? So AJ Halsey here. No worries. Just wanted to know if you knew. Yep, I see. Appreciate you. Bernard is a real good player. Is Bud Clark there? Bud Clark is going to be here, and I feel like we could get him later. Let's go to safeties and see where he's at. Bud Clark is projected 85th. Behind him is Genesis Smith, which I really, really like. Kamari Ramsey, I like as well. VJ Payne. I think I'm in love with VJ. No, I'm in love with VJ Payne as a Raider safety. Let's say that. If you think about back in the day, the old safeties, right? The no-fly zone, the Soul Patrol. VJ Payne would bring the pain. But so would AJ Halsey. So VJ Payne is at 124. We could go safety there. But if we're going receiver, let's go back. I'll tell y'all who the receiver is because I know that's what y'all want to see. Or I know rip it and flip it. Jeremy Bernard is there. He was projected to go 43rd. We are at 50. He's still there. Malachi Fields is a guy that I was hoping would fall to the third round, late second, and maybe they would trade back for a guy like Malachi Fields out of Notre Dame. I think he's a great fit with all the speed we have. He's a great route runner. Damn good hands. Okay, not great route runner, but good enough to get open, especially if you're the X one-on-one a lot and you're running a lot of trips or 12 personnel. I think Malachi Fields could be that guy, right? Ted Hurst. Ted Hurst is also there from Georgia. I think that's, they have him at 70. Skylar Bell, they have 72. Elijah Surratt, Stribling, Chris Bell, Deion Burks. I don't think we go wide receiver. I'm going AJ Halsey, man. I can't not do that. I think that's the guy. I think that's the guy for many years to come. LSU, Halsey's the pick. We'll go with Halsey. All right, let's play this out for a little bit. Jake Golday, Gabe Atkins, Deion Burks, damn it, Malachi Fields, CJ Allen, Chris Bell. So all the receivers just basically went right after that pick. So I'm going to do this. Wide receiver. Malachi Fields, Ted Hurst, Skylar Bell, Elijah Surratt, Dejon Stribling, which I think is a very, very underrated, bro. Physical guy, can win at the point of contact, damn good hands, I mean, great instincts, great hands. Explosiveness is at 8.5. Long speed, 8.5. With all the speedsters we got, I think that's the man, bro. I think that's the man that we could pick up way later. He's damn good, or he's, above average at blocking, 7.7. Physical, up there as well. 44 catches he had. Oh, that was 2000. 55 catches. He had 811 yards with 66. With 66. That would be a grip of touchdowns. With 6 touchdowns. Sullivan, what it do? Ted Hurst right here is what you're thinking. All right, let's continue because we're not even to 6. Let's see who goes. Should I move up to get him at 67? All right, let's just play it out. Stribling was the next pick. I knew it. Dead gum. All right, Tampa Bay. No, I'm not trading that. Miami wants to give us 75 for 67 and 130, and they want 219. Would y'all mess with that? Yay or nay? Yes or no? I kind of want to take it. I kind of want to take it. Only because I think we could get my guy, Jacoby Lane, right there at 75 and pick up 130. But let's reject it. Too many trades. I got a plan here in a minute, I think. We'll see what happens. All right, so we are at 67, and left on the board is Malachi Fields out of Notre Dame. A steal there. Derek Moore out of Michigan. I think at 67, that's a steal there as well. Josiah Trotter, another steal there. Malik Muhammad, D'Angelo Pons, Lee Hunter, Tadarian Dukes. Oh, that might be our corner right there. If we could lock down this defense. I mean, I know there's a couple corners that we could get later on. not too much farther. See how much farther. Bud Clark at 85. I would rather have Darian Stokes. I know he's a machine, but I just don't think he has the body type for the NFL. There's a lot of corners there. How y'all feeling? Make sure I'm not too far. Make sure I'm not too far. All right, so far, man, we have Fernando Mendoza, AJ Halsey at 50, but we pick at 67, 102, 117, 118, 128, 134, 175. 118. It just goes on and on. And I only did a 5 round mock draft. So we only did a 5 round mock draft, and this is where we're at. This is supposed to be y'all's mock draft. So I picked the first two picks. Fernando Mendoza was a given. I decided AJ Halsey over a receiver. Everybody thinks we need a receiver. So I say let's go receiver. But we're gonna have to take a swing on one because I mean Malachi Fields is the best, or Ted Hurst, Skylar Bell. Our next pick is 102. I say we take him now. I say we take him now and move up to get our corner. So my question to you is, would you rather Malachi Fields, Ted Hurst, Skylar Bell, Elijah Surratt, or would you rather? Yeah, I don't. I think if we wait till 102, you're looking at guys like Brandon Thomas, Malik Benson, Jeff Caldwell, Josh Cameron, another sneaky guy from Baylor. I don't know why he's not getting a lot of talk. Kendrick Law, Cyrus Allen, Zion Thomas, Barry and Brown that I was talking about from LSU. Eric Rivers is another sneaky guy. They got him at 239, bro. If I could get Eric Rivers in the 4th round, in the 3rd round, I'd probably take a swing there, just depending on how the board was. But I mean, 4th round all day for Eric Rivers at 239. Come on, are they sleeping on Georgia Tech, boy? See, that's what I mean. Like, you could get some of these cats really good. Victor was good. Hello, Raider Nation. Fan here. Dexter Lawrence is looking for a trade. Would you take him for the number one? Oh, no. If you're talking trade number one, Stribling was underrated. I mean, yeah, they had shit. He was like the the 7th or 8th wide receiver we were talking about, and then I didn't take a wide receiver. I took Halsey, and he was the next pick. So, yeah, some teams might have him a little bit higher. But there's some guys, man. My guy, if you're still in the building, OG, Caden Wetjen, another guy that you could get probably in the 6th round. If there's a run on receivers, you might have to pull the trigger. Early in the 6th round. I don't see it. Maybe in the 5th, depending on how this goes. But guys like C.J. Daniels, I mean Eric McAllister, there's Tyron Montgomery. Look, I don't think we need a receiver. I'm not going receiver. Y'all ain't participating. I'm doing my own shit. I'm going my own way. I'm looking at DT right here at 67. Who we got on the board? Let's see. Oh, Derek Tom. All right, so we got Lee Hunter on the board. Lee Hunter at 67. Dominique Orange, Grayson Halton, Darrell Jackson. I mean, I don't know about Darrell Jackson, man. I'm still on the fence. Chris McClellan. I know he's came in for a Raider visit. How would y'all feel about a Chris McClellan? Tomorrow is unified basketball practice. Nice, nice. I'm not a Lee Hunter fan. Thanks for all you do to this channel, right? Faded Raider. He already knows though. He already knows. Shout out for the $2 holla. Did I miss that? My bad, my brother. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Lee Hunter, Dominic Orange, Grayson Holton. You know, my sleeper, if y'all really want to know, in all of this, damn, he's not a sleeper. He's gone. Shit. Where did he go? There's no way he's gone. All right, so my defensive tackle is gone. Obviously, somebody has him way higher than, or they got him high like I do. So, not there. Corner is another Malik Muhammad, D'Angelo Pons. Trading Stukes, man, I like Stukes a lot. I really do. Dalen Everett, we can get at 102. Takario Davis, I really think is the guy that the Raiders, I don't know, they don't like him that I know of. I haven't heard anything about it. But man, I don't know what they're looking at. I really don't. I really don't. So, we got safety. We are looking at pick 67 and we need let's go with the best edge. Joshua Joseph out of Tennessee. Romello Height at 102. I kind of like Romello Height there as well. George Gums. Quick bendy guy. They should call him Gumby. Derek Moore right here as well. Who y'all got? Would you rather win a Super Bowl this year or wait another 20 years and start winning consistently, being Super Bowl contenders every year after that? Right now. Right now. You know why? I'm 51 years old. I don't give a shit about 20 years. I don't even know if I'll be here in 20 years. If I am, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. But, right now, right now, I've been waiting since 1983, 84. I've been waiting for us to win another damn Super Bowl. So right now, dude, right now, Raider Night, I would not even hesitate. You don't even want to ask what I would give up for that Super Bowl. You don't even ask. You don't want to know, bro. You don't want to know. There's not too many things I would say no to when it comes to trading for a Super Bowl. All right. Michigan. Jason Barham. Another sneaky cat. I really think we could use another edge. I'm not sold on my guy Malcolm Kuntz. He let me down last year. I'm not really sold on him. So if we're trying to go right now, Grayson Holton or Dominic Orange, Lee Hunter and McClellan. I don't want to wait too long to get. I mean, I guess Zane Durant would be another sneaky. You know what the hell with it. Let's wait for that as well. We are going to go I think we're going to Darian Stukes, man. I think we're going to Darian Stukes. Range 27. What else do we got on him? Processing, long speed, hip fluidity, explosiveness. That's the pick. That's the picks. 6'1", 190 to Darian Stukes. The Vinny T's, what's good? You ready for the draft? I am itching. I am itching. I am itching. So yes, yes. Thank you, thank you. I could not wait. I could not wait. So where do y'all got Ted Hurst, man? Ted Hurst, Skylar Bell. Do we go with one of those guys? This is the question. Would you rather? Right? That's the name of the show tonight. It's going just fine. Thanks for asking. Nice. Raider night. um, so would you rather? Would you rather? And I don't know if you're still in the building, OG rip it and flip it, but would you rather Ted Hurst, Skylar Bell, Elijah Surratt, or would you rather to Darian Stooks? Where'd the other guy go? Um, Josiah Trotter. I mean, a linebacker wouldn't be bad here either, right? We got two 20, 26, 27-year-old linebackers going to be there for a minute. But behind them, we have Cody Lindenberg. I mean, Cody Linden. Yeah, Cody Linden. There's too many Lindens. Linderbaum, Lindenberg, Cody Lindenberg, and Tommy freaking Eichenberg, right? Ted Hurst would be your pick here. Anybody else want to weigh on? Weigh in. Ted Hurst is the pick over Skylar Bell. When we can wait a little bit and get a Bryce Lance, a Jacoby Lane, who I feel is so underrated in this draft, man. I got him in my top 10. I had to redo it. I put him in the top 10. I just like everything about this young man. 83 overall grade. Explosiveness, 9.8. Long speed, 9.4. RAC score and contact balance, 8.7. Agility and twitch. I mean, blocking was a 7.8. Instinct, 7.6. Physicality is 6.9. But you can put on, once you get college out of the way and all you got to worry about is being in the building and pumping iron and getting and honing your craft. Route running 6.4, but I think physicality, size and all that makes up for that very, very easily at 6'3", 209. That's fucking not even. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Ted Hurst. All right, going once, going twice. Ted Hurst, and we are going to see how this falls. All right, the Bengals got their corner, so I'm going to pause it right here, and I'm going to ask the Bengals because we pick at 102, and we are at pick 72, and I think we need a corner. Dalen Everett could possibly be there. I know the Raiders brought him in. They like him. D'Angelo Pons will be gone. Malik Muhammad will be gone. Takario Davis, they have him ranked at 115. I think he'll be gone as well. Let's get in the building. All right, let's resume draft. I'm not going to trade up. I do want to see what edge rushers are here. Romello Height. LT Overton, I don't know. I mean, we can get Mason Rigger later. Vincent Anthony, yeah, I don't know. DT is all right. Let's do this. Let's do this. Um, let's do this. Lee Hunter is still on the board at 75. Damn. Let's resume this. I'm gonna watch this and see. Oh, he came off the board right when I said that. So as soon as I restarted the draft, Nutty Raider, what's good? Raiders. Yeah, man. So as soon as I got the membership, oh yeah, that's right. You got the free one. I forgot who gave that to you. But yeah, shout out for being part of the Nation Militia family, man. I appreciate you in the building. So I'm looking at these DTs, right? And we picked next at 102. You got Dominique Orange, Grayson Holton, Chris McClellan, projected at 109. And then after that, you know, maybe a Zane Durant. I really like Caleb Proctor out of Louisiana. I think he's, you know, he's got great get off. He's a strong cat, physical. Needs to be a little bit better at finishing, but you know, you can hone your craft in the NFL. Like I said, once you get college and a test and all that stupid shit, girls and partying out of the way, and you just focus on football, it makes a difference. So I'm gonna propose a trade to Tampa Bay because you know John Spytek, Tampa Bay, they got a little connection there. So I'm gonna propose a trade to Tampa Bay, and I want to try to move up and get a DT. I want pick 77, and I'm willing to give them 102. Let's see what's the lowest one I can give them. 175. Oh, that's not going to work. 134. That gets us closer. 128. That gets us really close. All right, so we have pick 102, 117, 118, 128, 134, 175, 185, 208, and 219. Yeah, so I think we'll do this. We'll go down to 175. 134. I think that's a good number, and we'll throw in 185. All right, so we're giving up 102, 134, and 185 to go and get our DT. Let's see what they do. Did they reject it? Oh, you bastards. All right. So they rejected my trade. All Raider fans. What are you, 3, bro? What are you, 3? Poop milkshakes? Come on, man. Come back when your balls drop, bro. Come in here talking shit. You don't want to come in here talking smack, bro. I would destroy your feelings. All right. Let's try Tampa Bay again. I want pick 177. And let's just make it easy, man. We'll give you 117. That gets us closer. 134. Damn, how'd the price go up? You bastards. I don't like it. They're trying to make us give up every flipping thing. All right, the hell with that, bro. I ain't trading with Tampa Bay. I'm not trading with Tampa Bay. Let's try the Colts, right? They don't have a lot of draft picks. They might need some capital. Hezekiah Masses. Alec M knows ball. Alec M knows ball. Yeah, not a name a lot of people would know, but I agree 1,100%, man. A sleeper in the late rounds. If you get him, you know, let him play special teams for a while. Be on that whatever second team defense, you know, off and on, rotating in practice. I think dude would be a hell of a Raider. But anyways, we're gonna try to propose this trade with the Colts here. because they don't have a lot of picks in this draft. They gave up a lot of their picks. So we want pick 78. And I'm willing to give them 102. Okay, they're trying to take every damn pick we got. So I'm going to give up. I don't want to give up 102. I will give up more picks. We have a lot of them biscuits. All right, we're giving up 117. That don't get us closer either. 128. Damn, 134, 175. That ain't gonna work. All right, fuck. All right, we'll give up one. We'll do that. All right, get rid of some of these damn picks. Take them off our hands. Trade finally accepted. We don't have 50,000 picks no more in this draft. And I'm going to go get our tackle. But you guys get to pick the damn tackle. So, is it Dominic Orange? Is it Grayson Holton? Is it Daryl Jackson out of Florida State? Out of Florida State. Daryl Jackson is 6'5", 315. If y'all want a little background, his size score is a 9.6. His play strength is a 9.6. His power is a 9.3. His motor is a 9.0. His balance and leverage 7.4. Needs to work on that. Pursuit 7.3. Explosiveness 6.9. And hand usage and rush explosions 6.8. Agility and twitch 6.6. Flexibility is bad 4.8. But I think he's a guy that, can plug up the middle. He's a guy that can be a run stopper at 6'5", 330. I feel like he's definitely that guy with 35-inch arms. I think that's the pick, man. I think that's the pick. I don't know. What was his RAS scores? Because this is athletic shit. Where's your athleticism, bro? I don't know. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Daryl Jackson Jr.? Them 35-inch arms, bro, at 6'5", I think is a problem in the middle. I really do. But let's take Dominique Orange. A lot of people like Dominique Orange. Big citrus, right? Let's go Dominique Orange. I think that's the pick. 6'2", 232. We got guys like that in Tonka Hemingway. We have guys like that in J.J. Pegues. We have a lot of similar body types to that. But that 322, man, I like. Play strength is a 9.3. Motor is a 8.8. Size, score, power, explosiveness, all those are up there. Not very good with his hands. Flexibility needs help, but he's damn good in pursuit. Kind of like Jonah Lalu. I think it would be... he got construction crane arms, right? That's 35-inch arms, bro. I think that's a problem right there. I kind of like that pick, man. I kind of like that pick. All right, let's see. Corner Malik Muhammad, D'Angelo Pons out of Indiana, Cario Davis. I can't move up for any one of those guys. I don't think that would have been right. Edge. I don't think any of those guys were worth moving up for. Offense is... I did move up, right? I gave up a lot of picks, so... Skylar Bell's still on the board at 72. Did we double up a wide receiver? You trading back one or taking Mendoza? I just took Mendoza. We're supposed to run a couple, mock draft simulators, but this turned out to be way longer than I expected. But we're gonna run some really quick here in a minute. Yeah, construction. Yeah, that's crazy. I will say this though. On the ESPN app the other day, I took Mendoza, and my grade was a B, and I was pretty pissed. I was very upset. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be straight transparent with you. um, that's the first time I took him Mendoza first overall and got a grade, a B grade. I don't know. Does it mean anything? Probably not. Anyways, here's our picks, man. We got Fernando Mendoza, AJ Halsey from LSU at 50. We traded back. We got wide receiver Ted Hurst from Georgia. We have a lot of receivers in house, but right now on the board is Skylar Bell, Jacoby Lane, Bryce Lance, and we moved up. Let's not throw that in. Offensive tackle. The Rock says Mendoza is mid, but as far as the best quarterback in the draft. Where y'all getting your information from, Diana Ramsey? um, I don't know about mid, bro. I don't know about mid. Look, I'll say this about Mendoza. I think a lot of people are overlooking the fact that this kid did exactly what he has to do, just like they do with Aiden O'Connell, right? A lot of people overlook the fact that, oh, well, Aiden lost this many games and Aiden did this and he never did this, but he did exactly what they wanted him to do. He came in, he ran the offense, he didn't turn the ball over, and you didn't get no run game, no nothing, no defense to help out. It doesn't work like that. So when you're asked to run a system and you run that system 100% perfect to a T, what more can you ask from your quarterback, bro? You know what Mendoza told me by going to Indiana and leaving Cal? It told me that you left one school, you went to another school. The first couple games I've talked about this, Kent State, Old Dominion, right? Indiana State. Some of those games, he looked off, but he got better as the year went on. So good where he was having games where he was 16 for 17, 5 touchdowns and 176 yards, right? No turnovers. No turnovers in the playoffs, bro. Went 9 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. I mean, to say that this man is not a first round pick just baffles me. I see guys, like NFL mock draft on X saying, a former Giants or former Jets former Jet scout. And I say former for a reason because when you look at some of his takes, right? I said Caleb Williams was going to be a bust. I said Drake May was going to be a bust. Basically, every quarterback that's came into the NFL picked in the first round in the last 12 years, this dude thinks is a bust. So there's a reason he's a former draft, analyst. But to say Fernando Mendoza is a fourth round pick is crazy, right? It's crazy. Just the way he picks stuff up, right? If he comes in this offense and, probably won't start year one, but year two, he's going to hit the ground running, right? He's going to be prepared like Patrick Mahomes did, like some of these guys that, got to sit for a year. Drake May, part of the year, half the year, right? These guys that get to sit for a minute, they come in more developed. They don't turn the ball over. They don't panic as much. And the Raiders, just like everybody else, know Mendoza is still a work in progress, man. He's 22 years old. The kid has a long way to go. You're drafted first overall in the NFL draft. There's no reason to throw him out there. You have Kirk Cousins. You have Aiden O'Connell. There's no reason to throw the young man out there. So, look, this kid picks up systems fast. He got better week in and week out against some of the best defenses in college football. And I don't care what people want to say about, he only ran this system. It was a one system read. Yeah, that's what he was asked to do. First read, throw the ball. He did it to perfection. First read, second read, throw the ball. He did it to perfection, right? First read, second read, third read. Not too many times he got to his third or fourth read, but when he did, he pretty much did that to perfection too. So I don't see what the knock is on this young man. He is the most mobile quarterback we've had, even more than Derek Carr. I think when, his straight line speed, his ability to make guys miss, his big body is hard to tackle, he's going to bring that aspect to it that a lot of people are forgetting. And the Raiders haven't had that aspect in a long time when it comes to quarterbacks. The last guy we had that was Cam Miller, was on the practice squad, and he got scooped up to Miami. So, look, Mendoza, if he's the pick, that's great. If he's not the pick, and they, find somewhere else to, find another thing, which wouldn't surprise me, right? It's John Spytek. He's a sneaky ass dude. A lot of people thought Genty wasn't going to be the pick, right? He fooled everybody. Matter of fact, 7 days before the draft, came out and said, was it Mimbu? Whoever the tight end or whoever the damn tackle was that was taken, right before or right after Ashton Genty after we picked, right? He came out, threw a monkey wrench and everything, said his kid was picking Ashton Genty and that's why they were going with Ashton Genty. A lot of people thought they weren't going to take him. They were going to take a tackle. So Spytek is very, very elusive. He knows how to play this game, right? He might be new to the game, but he's been in a lot of buildings that have been playing this game for a long time. So don't be surprised if Mendoza, isn't the pick, right? We heard John Spytek say when they was asked, has people called you or have people called you for the first overall pick? He said, we've received phone calls and they know where they stand, right? That's telling me that they got an answer. Whether that answer was no, move along, we're not trading them, or that answer was this is what it takes. That's a stepping stone, right? That's a point where you have, you know, a point to start at if you're another team. Now, if they say, it's 3 first overalls and we're not budging, we're not moving, no negotiation, then I'm sure a team can call and say, look, well, we got 2 first rounds and we got this player that we think might fit your system. Do the Raiders think about it? I think absolutely. John Spytek's already said he's going to pick up the phone and listen to every phone call, and hear people out. He thinks his best asset is listening. So listen, and if there's somebody that wows him, Mendoza won't be the pick, and they'll move in another direction. But more than likely, that's the dude. It's about processing. Mendoza wins outsmarting the defense. I mean, I don't know about that as much because I've seen a lot of times where, he's not holding the linebacker or he's not holding the safety with his eyes or he's not moving the safety with his eyes because he's, blue 52, silver, boom, and the ball's out. Blue 52, silver, ball's out, right? There's not a lot of time where he was holding the ball like Ty Simpson. And Ty Simpson, if you watched some of his interviews, says he likes to hold the ball, right? He likes to have that time in the pocket, to be able to process and go through his progressions to figure out where he wants to throw the ball. You're not going to have that in the NFL, son. You better get used to getting the ball out quick, making a decision pre-snap. And we don't know if Mendoza can do that because if you look at Cal, there's not a lot of times where you see, if any, I don't see him coming to the line of scrimmage like Ty Simpson and changing the play, right? Pointing guys out. That's the mic. We're going to this, right? They're blitzing. We're going to this. The safeties, they're in a disguise, cover 4 umbrella, and they're going to drop into cover 3 or, whatever it is. They're going to play half and half where it's lockdown man on one side and, Sky or fucking Cloud or whatever they want to run on the other, right? We don't see a lot of that. We see a lot of first snap reads. We don't see him changing the plays very, very often. Once in a while, you might see him saying, this is the mic, but that's more than likely probably just the direction that they're running the play. Not more than likely that is. So he's not given the opportunity to change plays. There's a lot to learn. Mendoza's got a long way to go, right? No matter how great his processing is, no matter how great people think his intelligence is, he does spin the hell out of the ball. I question a lot of things. Does he have touch? Was it just a great system around him? Can he be the guy when the team is not that great around him? But then again, if you don't have faith in your head coach, Clint Kubiak, why are you a Raider fan, right? I have faith in my coach that if they draft him, he's going to know how to use him. He's going to put him in position to show his strengths and not weaknesses, right? So they won't take him if he's not the guy, right? And they're not going to play him if he's not the guy. Raider Knight says, salute Greg, what's up? We do know one thing. We can all go the way if he's put in the right situation. Yeah, I mean, he's shown that, right? He's shown you can go undefeated. You can go undefeated, win championships, make it through the playoffs, not turning the ball over. That's a lot from your quarterback. That proves a lot. That you can make decisions when to run, when not to run. I would like to see him slide sometimes a little bit more, but if you're picking up plays or running in for touchdowns, shit, I ain't saying nothing, right? Who am I to say anything? So yeah, every quarterback, and I mean every quarterback that's ever been drafted in the history of the NFL has strengths and weaknesses. Every one. If you find me a quarterback coming out in a draft that didn't have a weakness, I don't know what I'll do. But shit, you win $5. Mom in the building. What's good, mom? Oh, it's not mom. It's nephew. Nephew in the building. What's good, nephew? So yeah, if you could find a quarterback without flaws, man, whether it's nice using grandma's phone, whether it's number one pick, first overall, you know, moving back into the 32nd pick to take a Lamar Jackson, right? Wherever it's at, or 30, wherever the hell he was picked, right? Wherever it's at. If you have a good coaching staff and you have good people and players around you, you can you can mold him into what you want him to be. And I think that's why the Raiders are going to go and get him, right? I think they love the fact that he hasn't, he doesn't hasn't seen a lot of defenses. You don't have to break him of bad habits that he already has, like Ty Simpson might have by, running that pro style defense with not pro style players at Alabama, right? No pro style run game, maybe one or two, pro receivers, maybe some eventually, but not if they not if they keep dropping the ball like that. So yeah, man, pay attention to your gifts. What gifts? Thank you for the gifts. Shout out to the gifts, Faded Raider, sent a clock and something else. That famous Mendoza run on 4 and 5 that would have worked in the NFL. Would that have worked in the NFL? I believe so. I believe so. I mean, if you look at the coverage they were in, right? They had they had everybody stretched in the field. They had the middle of the field open. He made a guy miss. I mean, there's a lot of bad tacklers in the NFL. He's bigger than a lot of guys in the NFL at 6'5", 230 pounds, right? So, yeah, I believe he can make guys like miss like that in the NFL, no problem. And he's only going to get better, right? The kid's a gym rat. He's a film rat, right? So he's constantly going to be um, working out, getting better, getting bigger, and he's just going to be a bigger problem, bro. He's just going to be a problem. Pure Motivator X, what's good? What's good? Appreciate you popping in. All right, so let's get back to this, man. Let's get back to this. Who are we drafting at 78? We are going to resume this draft. Malik Muhammad just got picked by Tampa Bay, which is probably why they didn't want to trade with us. They were like, nope, he's going to go get Malik Muhammad. But if I had a phone and I could call Tampa Bay and say, no, we want to trade up for this guy, we probably could have got that trade done. So um, we can move from 78 to 79, give up a 2000, give up a next year seventh round and pick up a next year fifth round. I kind of like this trade, but more than likely they're going to take Dominique Orange, and I'm going to be pissed. But I'm not picking for next year. I'm picking for this year. So let's reject that. Washington wants to give us 147, a third, a fourth, and a fifth next year. They really, really want Dominique Orange. And for that reason, I am going to draft Big Citrus, Dominique Orange. Big Citrus. Welcome to the desert. It's not going to grow in the desert, bro. All right, so Damn. Safety. All right, pause this. I'm going to call out some of this draft. So, just in case y'all are wondering of where Skylar Bell might kind of go in this draft, he was picked to Green Bay at 84. That is absolutely freakish with the draft they had last year and the receiver they got last year. If y'all know who it is, drop it in the comments. Garrett Nussmeier went 85 to the Steelers. I can see that. I can see Nussmeier a year behind Aaron Rodgers being a slept on quarterback in the NFL. Jadon Kennedy, safety from Oregon. I like that. Kyle Lewis goes to the Jags. Genesis Smith is off the board. A big run on safeties at 90. So Genesis Smith, Saki Wheatley, and Kamari Ramsey, and Harold Perkins Jr., who also I've seen some people say, he's like a safety slash linebacker, Harold Perkins type thing. Bryce Lance goes to the Dolphins. That sucks. Romello Height goes to the Patriots. D'Angelo Pons is gone at 96. That sucks. Demetrius Crossover is gone. Damn, I might have to move up to go get my guy. All right, no, let's start. We are picking at 102. All right, so Sam Roush is off the board. Dennis Sutton, I like that. Grace Holton is off the board. Wait, why the fuck am I not picking at 102? Oh, I gave that pick away. We're picking at 117. Damn it. All right, I gave 102 away. That was probably dumb, but we are still sitting pretty. We have Will Lee, corner. We have Dalen Everett, corner. We have BJ Payne, safety. And man, look, I'm going to say this. If you tell me we could get AJ Halsey and BJ Payne in the same draft, bro, now think about this. We have Nakobe Dean at linebacker. You have Quay Walker at linebacker. Both of them, 26, 27, 25, whatever their age is. I don't know. I had to look it up. But both of those guys, right, playing the linebacker position. If you tell me you go get two safeties on the bookend, and I love Jeremy Chin, plays well in the box, physical. But if you bring in a BJ Payne and an AJ Halsey behind Jeremy Chin, man, I think this defense is stacked. I really do. I think it changes the whole trajectory of this whole season because if the defense is good, the offense with Kirk Cousins has a very good chance to be good. With Aiden O'Connell has a chance to be good. Has a chance to be good with Mendoza his rookie year if the defense is really good, right? It makes everything easier on the offense. So, do we go corner? You have Willie, Dalen Everett, Devin Moore, Chandler Rivers from Duke, which I think is a sneaky guy. Julian Neal dropped all the way to 169. Damn, they changed that shit up. Damn it, both of my corners are gone. Where did they go? Takario Davis went to the Broncos. Come on, man. I hate the donkeys. Damn, shout out for the $2 holla. Maybe you didn't see the gifts, like the super chat. Gifts again? Look, if I'm looking this way, I don't see shit pop on. So that's, if you want to give gifts, I appreciate it. But if I miss them, just let me know. Raider Ryan. See, I missed that too. The real Rocky Maivia. It's a rock in the building. I wish he was a rock in the building, man. Come on the show. My hero, the Rock in the building. That'd be sick. Take a dab with me. Damn. I'll take one with you. All right, we will all take one in a minute. Candy, you should be Rebel's finance manager. He needs it. Finance manager? Why? Why do you think I need it? You saying I'm broke? I ain't got no money? Fuck. What you mean? Arnie Garza in the building. All right. Yeah, I'll take one, but I gotta pause this. I'm still talking though. All right, so just 1 second. We pick 117 and 118. And what I would like to do here is, since we have Fernando Mendoza, AJ Halsey, Ted Hurst, and Dominique Orange, right? We have two defense, two offense. I would like to see what we have offensive wise at tackle. Jude Bowery, Isaiah World, Travis Burke, Markel Bell. Would y'all take Markel Bell? I mean, just a Miami tackle, made it to the championships. I mean, we're looking at size 9.9, core grip and strength 9.3, power 9.2, physicality a 9.1, awareness 8.3. This is all very, very good stats from a big, big man. Mobility 6.5, hand usage 6.4, footwork 6.3, flexibility 4.8, and balance and leverage is a 6.5. No, 4.5. My bad. um, um, who was my favorite player in the draft? I already told you that, bro. It's Diego Pavia. It's Diego Pavia. I'm not pulling off of that, bro. It's my dog. No, I don't know. I don't know. Fernando Mendoza. Fernando Mendoza. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. All right, so Bell is 6'9" and a quarter. Bro, I think we take Markel Bell, but I don't think we take him right now. Because he is listed at 186, and we have a whole bunch of picks. We pick at 118, 128, 175. So yeah, man. I forgot to take this damn. I guess I can turn this back on until it's ready and then turn it back off. So yeah, that's where we're picking at. Let me know. Let me know. Do y'all want to go offensive tackle? Okay, not offensive tackle right now. Guard. There's some guards on the board. Well, I gotta turn this off real quick. If we go wide receiver again, I think we just filled that spot though. With Ted Hurst, I think he's that dude. Brandon Thompson is on the board. Malik Benson, who was the top 32. I don't know if he was the top 32 visit, if they brought him in. I don't want to miss information, anybody out there, but I know they talked to him. Josh Cameron from Baylor is another sneaky, sneaky cat. But if we're looking at guys that we need to, like Baron Brown, Caden Wetjen, Eric McAllister, right? Some of those sneaky cats that could give us something we don't have, right? We don't know exactly what we're gonna have, right? We don't know exactly what we're gonna have in any of the receivers that we brought in. So I kind of like a wide receiver right here. But we'd have to reach. Defense, what other position? Let's see. Defensive tackle right here. Chris McClellan. We got a DT, right? I got a DT. Yeah, we got Dominic Orange on the last one. But you can never have too many. But let's not go that. We're going safety. VJ Payne right here. VJ Payne is the pick right here, bro. What? VJ Payne? We have AJ Halsey and VJ Payne in the building. And the Saints want to give us 122 and 190 for 118. Drop back 4 spots. Pick up 190. Actually, I don't want to do that because I already gave us way too many picks. And we pick again. So we got VJ Payne at 117. I believe is a damn good steal for us. And we pick again at 118. And I feel like this is the spot where we probably should go corner. And I'm going to go I really like Ephesians, not just because of the name, but I really like Ephesians Prescott. I really like California's Hezekiah Masses, right? They had a corner last year that a lot of people slept on, that I told a lot of people he was going to be one of the best corners in the draft last year. Williams. Is it Williams? Where's my book? So I'm not gonna look that up right now. I'll tell y'all in a minute. But I think it was Williams, the corner out of Cal last year, was an absolute dog, and he played his ass off in the NFL. So they bring dude nice cats out of there. We need another corner. We don't know if Eric Stokes can hold up for another full season, right? That is a question. We also don't know, what Darian Porter Jr., right? We don't know what DP is going to be. So I say we get a corner now. But I like Ephesians, man. Our Akeem, so we can get a corner later. I'll take either one of those. But Dalen Everett out of Georgia, 6'1", 195. Great explosiveness, agility and twitch is, off the charts. Super good long speed. Not elite, but it's, good enough. Damn good at support. Decent size for the position. Hip fluidity is good. Physicality and processing and technical and balls. Yeah, let's not pick him. I don't like that pick. That's not good. I don't like that. I don't know why they brought in Dalen Everett unless they think they're gonna, develop him later on. So I'm gonna do the best thing right here. I'm gonna go wide receiver. I think we need another one, and I think we need that sneaky, twitched up dude that can run routes, that could get open, that could catch anything thrown his way. I'm probably gonna reach a lot on this one. Oh shit, that would be a huge reach. Yeah, okay, let's wait on that. Let's wait on that. All right, there's not a wide receiver I like. All right. I think now's a good time in the fourth round to take a running back, right? I think now's a good time. Let me know who your running back is. Nicholas Singleton, right? Nicholas Singleton is a guy that I had in my top 5 last year. Maybe it was my top 10, but I had him, very highly ranked anyways. I think he got, overshadowed by the other running back in the building this year. It kind of looked like he kind of just lost interest to me. I don't know, just fell off. Didn't have the greatest year, but the dude is a monster. The kid, I believe, was squatting like 400 pounds in high school, right? Just an absolute beast for a running back. I wouldn't mind Nicholas Singleton to be that 1-2 punch to Ashton Genty, right? Ashton Genty can't carry the load. Claiborne in the 5th, you say? Well, let me tell you. Let me finish. Let me finish. So Nick Singleton is on the board, projected to go 121. We are picking at 118. Emmett Johnson, who is, that bowling ball with a whole lot of everything, right? Nice cuts, crisp, clean cuts, twitchy, good vision, damn good instincts, creative instincts, right? Can see the field like it's like what's going to happen before it happens. I think sometimes because seems like he's just already cutting before the dude is already out of position. Very very underrated out of Nebraska. He's a junior, so a young kid, 5'10" and a quarter, 202 pounds. I really wish he was kind of like a 220. And when I say bowling ball, I mean just because he's hard to tackle, right? I don't mean like, running people over, bowling ball type. But damn good, man. Damn good at hitting holes, good contact balance. Like I said, good vision, good twitch. Would be a damn good pick here. Would be a damn good pick here. The reason why, because we have like 5 fourth round picks. So you might as well take a good running back instead of trying to let one fall. And the reason I'm saying that is because we have Nicholas Singleton, Emmett Johnson, projected at 125, and then Desmond Claiborne at pick 133. And he's the third running back left on the board. So unless people take one of my sleepers in this draft, For me, I don't hear a lot of people talking about him. It's Jamari Taylor out of Virginia. Man, I think he would go damn good with Ashton Genty to be 100%. 5'10, 199, same kind of build, not as thick, good balance, physical, twitchy agility, not very explosive, not very good long speed. Kind of like the same as an Ashton Genty, I want to say, but Adam Randall is also there. So my point is, if we wait till the fifth to take a running back, Claiborne might not be there, and I like Claiborne out of Wake Forest too, as well. Damn good combine, can catch out of the backfield, explosive, twitched up, got that long speed. You know, is pretty much good at everything: physicality, vision, creative instincts. The only thing I don't like is, his size, and then his pass blocking because of his size, right? Because of your size, not really good. How did you feel about the Crosby trade before it fell through? I liked it. I liked it. I'm not gonna lie. Arnie Garza says questions. Do you got us drafting Washington Jr.? I do. I do. I think that would be the pick, man. I really do. Now, I don't know if they're willing to take him in the third round. I don't know if they're willing to take a running back that high since they took one in the first. But man, if some of these running backs, get snatched up and he's there in the fourth, I just don't see how the Raiders pass on him. It brings me back to 2008, right? They drafted Derek McFadden. Um, Long strides, right? Long strides, that Bo Jackson style running where, you just straight upright outrunning everybody with them big ass long strides. But Mike Washington is more durable, right? And I feel like it could be like another McFadden, just not as high. We're not taking him fourth overall in the 2008 draft, right? So, you know, if you take him in the fourth, if he makes it that far, which I just can't see a world where he does, but he got some fumble issues. He's basically a straight line runner, doesn't really catch great out of the backfield. So, there might be some teams that pass on a Mike Washington Jr. Sneaky spy. You never know who he's gonna pick. That's what I'm saying. It's not spy tech is sneaky, sneaky. So there are some running backs here, and we could wait probably. Who's the fastest out of these? Who's the fastest? Because I think we need that fastest, and Mike Washington would have been that guy, but he was way too early. He went in the hell did he go in? I believe the middle of the third. Middle of the third. McFadden was solid, just injury prone. McFadden was a dog, bro. You know, he could have been that guy. Even after he went to Dallas, he still gave them some good reps. But that turf toe is a nasty injury, and just couldn't stay healthy, man. Just couldn't stay healthy. It was definitely sucked for the Raiders, Oakland Raiders at the time. I almost said Las Vegas, but it sucked for the Oakland Raiders, right? You take a guy fourth overall, and I believe he's the reason why everybody was so pissed off about taking Ashton Genty sixth overall. But like I tried to tell everybody, Ashton Genty is, man, he's got that body type to be that guy, to be durable in the you know throughout a full 17 game season. He could be that all three down guy. But if we get another guy to take that off of him, I would love that. Rebel, do you think Dante Thornton will redeem himself, or is he a lost cause? I never want to hate on players that are Raiders, but I'm not as high. I don't have as high hopes as everybody else, right? And just listening to him talk, right? You know, the character. I don't know if he's that guy that's gonna be putting in the work to grind to be that guy, right? And you can't teach how to catch. You can teach how to run routes. You can't teach fluentness. You can't teach agility. You can't teach speed, which he has. but you can't teach hands, right? You can sit there and catch 500 balls over and over and over again out of a machine. Will it, might make you a better catcher? Yeah, but will it make you a better contested catch? You know, contested catch receiver? I just don't feel like it can. Maybe 2, 3 years down the line, but that's a long time, and the Raiders don't have time to wait, right? So you draft guys, you bring them in, you have a competition, and if Dante shows that he's worth that roster spot, then yes, you give him every opportunity to redeem himself. But if he doesn't show it, in camp this year, which there was all this talk last year about how he was, showing it in camp, but those were one-on-ones with Greedy Vance and guys that were, Kai Blue Kelly, right? It's not like he's facing some number one receivers that he faced all year long in the 8 games he played in. So it's a big difference, man. I'm rooting for Dante Thornton. With his size and his speed, if he can become that guy, it just makes the Raiders that much better. But if not, it's just another Raider that's drafted here that, just couldn't get it all together to get on the grass, and that sucks for those kids. But I'm rooting for him. I just not as positive as everybody else, and I'm not as patient, man. I'm 51 years old. I don't have the patience to wait for these guys to develop. I want to see guys that are helping right away, right? Go get a receiver that's going to help you from day one, like a Zachariah Branch, like a Ted Hurst, any of these guys. Denzel Boston if he falls, right? So, all right, we are at pick 118, and we have a killer-ass roster. Mendoza, A.J. Halsey, Ted Hurst, Dominique Orange, B.J. Payne, and we are about to take, let's see, we pick at 128 as well. All right, let's go best player on the board, and that best player on the board would be corner Will Lee at a Texas A&M. 6'1 and a half, 189, 32-inch arms, disruptive radius, defying strength, has the side. He's quick fire and surprisingly fluid. Everything's there but technique, man. Everything's there but technique. I think that's the pick. We need a corner. I know we could take one later, but I think we're only going to the 5th round. So let's take Will Lee. I believe we have guys in the building. Dalen Everett is still there. He was projected to go at 112, and we're at 128 and nobody picked him, so I think that was the right move as far as that goes. And now we are looking at our next pick is 175. Running backs are still the same running backs. Nick Singleton, Emmett Johnson is there. Chandler Rivers, corner from Duke. Fuck, I should have scrolled down. I could have took him in the last one. That's fine. Damon Claiborne will still be there. Jamari Taylor. There's still a lot of running backs I think we can get later on. Best player available is Dalen Everett. Damn, Dalen Everett is the best player available when we're picking at 128. Woo-wee. All right, let's mess this up. We are going defense. And we have one corner, 2 safeties. Nope, we're going offense. We are going offense. I think it's time for another receiver now. Receivers, do you want Kevin Coleman Jr. out of Missouri, which is another guy being slept on, 5'10", 179, just destroyed my Arkansas Razorbacks over and over and over and over again. He's damn good at blocking. He's got a solid explosive grade. He's a damn good route runner. Let's see what they say about him. The reason for his transfer in 2025 was clear. However, he wanted to return home to St. Louis and play for his hometown Tigers. Due to a subpar quarterback play, Coleman received
as the team's most efficient weapon. He caught 66 passes for 732 yards and one tutty. That's it. He advanced his numbers, giving him greater extends. Coleman two-time player of the year. Impact score is at 81. A 13.1 catch rate over exception. 2.5 drop rate. It might be a sleeper right here, Kevin Coleman. He's the best receiver on the board, but I like Brendan Thompson out of Mississippi State. Another one of those guys, but that 164 weight just kind of scares me. I think we can get that guy way later in these rounds, like Barry and Brown, Eric Rivers, Eric McAllister, Tyron Montgomery. I think any one of those guys would fit what we are trying to do. Jeff Caldwell is on the board. Um, shit, we got a lot of draft picks. We need guys. I'm going Malik Benson right here. 6 foot 189. An Oregon kid. I mean, you can't go wrong with Oregon kid. We need a nose tackle. And any good ones in the draft. I mean, a solid nose? Not really. You got guys like Grayson Holton, Caden McDonald. There's not really like a number one, like Mason Graham, like everybody thought Mason Graham was last year. I, I had that on my no list. Go back and watch my shit. So, I mean, I think defensive tackle you could get a guy and just develop him. There's a lot of guys in this draft that if you take them high in the first round or early in the second, they're mainly just run stoppers, right? None of them are really get to the quarterback type guys. And I feel like you got to let Jonah Laulu, Tonka Hemingway, JJ Pegues, right? You got to see what these guys have. So I wouldn't be too mad at taking a guy later on. And we got Dominique Orange, right? So let's go over in case you just pulled up. Our picks are again Fernando Mendoza, AJ Halsey from LSU, the safety, hard hitting coverage guy. Ted Hurst, a playmaker on the outside. Maybe he could be that next Tim Brown for us. You don't know. I'm not saying he is Tim Brown, but maybe he could give us somewhere near that style of production would be amazing. Dominique Orange, tackle out of Iowa State. VJ Payne, Kansas State safety, another thumper. We didn't really need a thumper, but you never know what they're gonna do. You know, if he's better than a guy that was a UDFA and Isaiah Palomau, you got to put the best guys on the field. That's why you go get the best guys. So VJ Payne, we have Will Lee, the third corner out of Texas A&M on the board. So a lot of defense, a lot of defense. I'm going to look at right now tackle, and I'm going to make this call. I kind of like Diego Pounds, man. I hear a lot about Joe Bowery, 6'5", 314, Boston College, so he's a smart kid. Physicality is up there, mobility is up there, power is up there, core strength. Size score, hand usage, awareness, footwork needs help. Comps are Caden Wallace, not too bad. Tyler Morton, TJ Cummings, Tylen Grable, and Lance Gibson. Does he play right or left? Anybody know? Does anybody know what Drew Bowery plays? Dexter Lawrence would be nice but expensive. I like Dexter Lawrence. I just feel like if you sign him, it's going to be for a 1 year, $25 million contract with 24 of it guaranteed. So you only put like a million or two on the books because we just don't have the money. And then, what do you have to trade for him? So It just doesn't. Yes, he's young, 28 years old, has a lot of football left in him. Would definitely help the Las Vegas Raiders. But it's just, you know, that's a lot of money. You can get one of those guys, hopefully, in his draft. You might have one of those guys in a Jonah Lalu, with more time. Now have Travis Smith being the defensive line coach with your ex defensive line coach being your defensive coordinator. So I think that's going to help a lot as well. Jude Bowery, I just don't like his footwork. Isaiah World, Travis Burke, Pounds, Cruz. I'll take my right tackle, Amir Wagner, later in the rounds. And since we're only going to round 5, I'm going to take a wide receiver now. And it is going to be a big, big stretch. $193, man. I think Caden Wetjen could kind of be that, kind of be that third and Renfro guy. 5'9", 193. Pick range 170 to 239. Not too. Oh, yeah. No, let's not go with Caden Wetjen. That's not good. Y'all ain't helping. This is supposed to be y'all's mock draft, bro. Been on here 2 hours and get no help. No help at all. I think Baron Brown would be the pick here, or I guess later. But the best player on the board right now is Carson Beck. So I'm going to take Carson Beck at 113 because we don't know what's going to happen with Aiden O'Connell, right? Can he beat out Mendoza? Can he show that he was the better quarterback in college football this year? And, why not? Why not? Why not? Let's make it a battle. Let's take Carson Beck. And then the last pick will be at 175. And we will take our running back there. I think they just all got snatched up. I think they all got snatched up. Yes, they are all snatched up. I mean, we got Katron Allen, Penn State. I would roll with that. Jonah Coleman, I'm not mad at that. I would take Roman Hemby. Well, Roman Hemby's gone. Oh, no. Yep. Damn, they just took all those. Shit, as I was saying, every one of those running backs, they all disappeared off the board. So running backs are gone. But again, this is only a 5-round mock draft, so it didn't turn out to the would you rather, like the title says, because nothing worked out the way it was supposed to so far. Not one thing. All right, best player on the board right now is Taylon Green, and I probably should have took him instead of Carson Beck. That's my dog. But if I take Taylon Green, he beats out Fernando Mendoza just because he gives you so much more that you can do in the NFL, right? So that's where we're at. And at this last pick, 175, I'm not going running back. I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to take the best edge rusher on the board, which is George Gums out of Florida. George Gums out of Florida, 6'4", 245. Great explosiveness, great agility, okay power, balance and leverage is okay. Motor needs to get better. Needs to be better in play strength and pursuit, but you can get all that in the NFL. Rieger, yeah, fuck, I don't know. I can't take him that shit. Can't take him that high either. All my corners are gone. Yeah, I know those guys are going to go quick. All right, so it is wide receiver. Malik Vincent. And that is done with this. Beck would be an interesting pick, right? Right? I mean, Why not? Why not? If you're the Las Vegas Raiders, you have two national championships, two guys that were in the national championship at quarterback, right? You take one overall, and if you want to push that number one quarterback overall, you take the dude he competed against on the other side that was this close away from throwing the ball another foot, possibly being a touchdown, right? Or at least a reception and being right there to have a chance to win the game. Instead, it was an interception. I think it would be a hell of a battle. I think it would be a hell of a battle. It would push Fernando Mendoza to be his best. It would push Carson Beck to be his best. And at worst, you have Fernando Mendoza with Carson Beck as a backup if he can beat out Aiden O'Connell, right? So to me, I mean, that's okay. All right, Fernando Mendoza, A plus. AJ Halsey taking him there. Damn, was only a C. Ted Hurst was a B. Dominique Orange was a B. VJ Payne was a C. Will Lee was a B. Carson Beck was a C, and Malik Benson was a B. All those were B plus, B plus, B plus, C, C, C. Not a bad draft, bro. Not a bad draft. I would rock with that. Let me know how you feel about that. Rosetown in the building. But yeah, I think it would make sense, bro, to bring in a Carson Beck. If he's there in the later rounds, why not bring in Carson Beck? Why not? Why not? I read the supers. What are you talking about, Mister? I read the supers. I read all that shit. Take a dab. I took a dab. You missed it? Damn, faded Raider. Maybe you faded, bro. Maybe you faded. Faded, faded, faded. All right, so we're gonna do this real quick before we get off here. Like we intended to do. Would you rather? Would you rather? Would you rather? We are just going. Shit. We'll just make it a 3-round. We'll make it a 3-round mock draft. We'll go fast. I'm not going to call out the players. We're taking the Raiders. Obviously, we are not going with pro football. We are not going with ESPN. I did not like that one. And we are going to try Ian Cummings. Let's see what Ian Cummings mock draft is, where he has these dudes. Let's start in the solo. Yeah, we have 4 trade offers. I'm not taking any one of them. They're the same. If you've seen anybody do a mock draft, they're always the same. Same teams that would never really try to move up to get that dude anyways. So this consensus has Sonny Styles number 1, Caleb Downs number 2, Arbel Reese number 3, Dylan Thienerman number 4. Wow. Carnell Tate at 5, and Fernando Mendoza, the 6th best player. Jeremiah Love 7th. Messador Delane at 8. Ruben Payne Jr. at 9. Makai Lemon, he has him at 10. Gerard McCoy 11. D'Angelo Pons has all the way up at 12. Damn, Ian Cummins went cray-cray in this. Francis Maui Noah, I got it right. Maui Noah, not Maui Goa. Maui Noah at 13. Jordan Tyson at 14. David Bailey. Caleb Lemieux. Spencer Fano. So both the Utah boys 16 to 17. I think he just didn't know where to put him. I know exactly what he's going through when I was doing my mock draft. So kind of feel that that's where that was. Sadiq. Kenyon Sadiq. Tight end out of Oregon. Number 20, Peter Woods, 21. Lone Olivea Vega. Absolutely ridiculous. This man made it to 20s. He is a top 10 player in this draft. He is the best guard. I don't care what anybody says. If you look at the way the guards were drafted last year, I mean, a lot of them won't take him in the top 10. But if he's not gone in the top 15, what are teams doing here? Casey Concepcion is his 23rd ranked guy. Akeem Mesidor is 24. Keldrick Falk, 25. Keontae Scott, 26. Damn, that's pretty high for him. Blake Miller, 27. Omar Cooper, 28. Caleb Banks, Chase Basantis at 30. Caden McDaniels, Christian Miller. Those are his top 32. That is a top 32, way different than I've seen in the past. So there's going to be a lot of guys that, according to his consensus, there's going to be a lot of fools in this draft. Not fools, but a lot of cats that dip later in the round. So let's hit the button. If y'all want to know where everybody went in the top 25, just let me know. I'll go back and tell you. All right, so Houston wants to throw at us 38 and a fourth round pick next year. I think that's a joke to even suggest. Y'all should be smacked for that. All right, so we have no trade candidates. Do we want to trade up? Do we want to trade back? This is what we're looking at. The Raiders have, would you rather defensive tackle Caleb Banks at pick 36? Would you rather defensive tackle Caden McDonald at pick 36? Would you rather defensive tackle out of Georgia Christian Miller at pick 36? Or would you rather Christian Bell, wide receiver Louisville, Colton Hood, Tennessee, or Denzel flipping Boston? Denzel Boston, projected to go. He's the 36th best player according to Ian Cummings. If y'all don't know who Ian Cummings is, y'all go check him out on X. He also does mock drafts for, I don't even know who he works for. What'd you say, Faded Raider? Say it again. I missed it. I sent you a ton of gifts as well as the super chats. I didn't think you seen them when I sent them. I think I seen them. Send another one. Just kidding, bro. I'm just kidding. But I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. I can't catch everyone, so thank you for calling me out that I missed it. I appreciate all the gifts. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you. You are the shit. So, again, Caleb Banks, defensive tackle, Florida. Caden McDonald, Christian Miller. I need y'all's answers, bro. I need y'all's answers. Y'all supposed to be helping me out. This is supposed to be you're the GM, not me. I already know what I would do. Caleb Banks, Caden McDonald, Christian Miller, Chris Bell, wide receiver, Colton Hood, corner, Denzel Boston, Max E. Hennecor. Holy shit. Emmanuel McNeil Warren, Lee Hunter, Tadarian Stokes, Chris Johnson. Who would you rather? Who would you rather? It was only supposed to be, who would you rather? One or two, but who would you rather, yo? Faded Raider, I see you with the laughing crystal ball, whatever the hell that shit is. I see you with the laughing crystal ball. All right, man. So, damn, if the draft falls like this, right? If the draft falls like this, I'll tell you what I would do if I was the Raiders. I would pick at 36, and I would take Max E. Hennecor. I mean, it's just a no-brainer. You're drafting a quarterback. The right tackle has issues. You want competition. He's competition. The best dude on the board. And I'm going to tell you why. Because the last draft we just did, right? We got our guy in the third round. There was a couple we could have gotten in the fourth round that I would have been happy with, right? We could have took those. And do you really waste a second round pick on a player that's going to play 15, 20% of the snaps? I mean, if the Raiders are in a 3-4, say 30% of the snaps, how many of those is a Caleb Banks going to play? Is he a 3-down guy? Is Caden McDonald a 3-down guy? Is Christian Miller a 3-down guy? I can answer all of those. No. No. Caden McDonald, great run stopper, give you a little bit of pass rush. Christian Miller, great run stopper. Caleb Banks, a guy that can get to the quarterback, give you that pass rush. Needs to work on finishing, needs to work on, some of those spin moves, being out a little wide. But I'm not wasting a second overall pick when I'm looking at guys like Colton Hood, Denzel Boston, Max E. Hennecourt, man, I'm taking Denzel Boston. I ain't even listening to y'all no more. Just it's not even a question. If Denzel Boston is on the board there and the Raiders do not take him, it is a fail. They failed the draft. They have failed the fans. They have failed Jimmy Rogers. They have failed everybody. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Anyway. All right, so I love the way this draft fell. All right, so pick 67. Would you rather Chris Johnson? I don't know why he fell. There's some questions about the knee. But his 40 time shows to me that the knee is fine, G. If you can't see that, then I don't know. Mike Washington is here at 61. Oscar Delp, Josiah Joseph, another biblical name. Josiah Trotter, another biblical name. Landon Roberts. Oh, why did it taste so burnt? What the fuck? You Landon Roberts. What did I say? Landon Roberts? I meant Landon Robinson. Ay, 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 ay. Fabici Nowicki? Dude, damn. Ted Hurst at 74. Cassius Howell will be there at 77. Okay, you got Cassius Howell falling way down. Jacoby Lane. Sicario Davis. Who y'all got, man? Who y'all got? I'm taking Chris Johnson. It's not even a pick. San Diego State pick Chris Johnson at 50. You can't pass that up. So in the 3 mock draft, Fernando Mendoza, Denzel Boston. Yeah. Fernando Mendoza, Denzel Boston. We have an A plus, a B plus, and an A with Chris Johnson, an A minus. That was crazy. There was a lot of people that I did not expect to be on the board at that position. So we will try another one. We did PFF, we did PSFN. Both of those just didn't impress me. ESPN didn't impress me. Let's see what the Athletic has. Now, would you rather no, reject. Actually, I should have took that trade just for the shits and giggles. All right, Fernando Mendoza pick is again. Let's see where the board falls. Denver wants to trade. Oh, I could have took that trade. Oh shit. Wait. Go back to the trade offers. Fuck. I should have took that trade. Anyways, we're at pick 36. Jacob Rodriguez went 35th. Come on, bro. I mean, he's a damn great linebacker, but that's crazy. Cassius Howell was 34. Chase Basantes, again, the third time we've done mock drafts, he's been picked within the top 35 picks. He was 33 and 34 and 35 all 3 times. He's been either one of those. Players on the board. Let's see how this board fell. We have Avion Terrell. Okay, now I can see why he slipped a little bit. If you look at, the speed, I think it was a 4.6. I want to say 4.6 speed, bro. Like to me, this fucking green thing is pissing me off. How about that? Does that work? That's better. To me, are you on the laptop? You got it working? I'm just using the laptop to do the mock draft. But yeah, so this is what we have. Would you rather at pick 36 trade back, right? Trade back, or would you rather pick corner at a Clemson? Avion Terrell He was the consensus 27th in this draft. He is there at 36. It's crazy. Um, or would you rather Ohio State defensive tackle, Caden McDonald, the run stopping monster in the middle? That's going to give you a little bit of pass rush. Would you rather trade back or draft Max Ehenekor, trade back or draft Malachi Lawrence, trade back or draft D'Angelo Pons, Ty Simpson, Jeremy Bernard, Christian Miller? All those guys are there. CJ Allen, Chris Bell, Jake Golday. I mean, CJ Allen, I would take that right there. I don't know how you'd pass on that, but what do y'all got? What do y'all got? Um, okay. That's what y'all got. All right, man. Well, this has been real. This has been real fun. I thought it was going to be more interesting. I thought there'd be more people interested to play GM, but I guess y'all are not. So I'll play the damn GM and y'all can just listen. How about that? At this position right here, it's got to be Max Ehenekor. It's got to be Max Ehenekor. I'm taking that. But then I'm going to pause this draft because I'm looking at R. Mason Thomas, CJ Allen there. I could easily move up for CJ Allen. You know, I won't do that either. Let's just get this shit over with. Could have took that trade. They want to give us 76 and 121 for 67 and 219. No. 180 and a fourth next year. Baltimore. I ain't trading with Baltimore. We have, again, Lee Hunter, Tadarian Stukes, Emmanuel Pregon. Whoa, that would be a nice pickup. Emmanuel Pregon. I like that. Happy Wednesday, B11. What's good? Appreciate you. Caitlin Rutledge, if we needed guards, but I don't know if we need guards as much. Not too much here at 67 as I thought. Not too much here. Best play available would be Lee Hunter, or today in Stokes. And I think we can get a guy pretty close to that later in the rounds. I mean, if I'm being honest, they got Romello Height projected 80. Best offensive player is Emmanuel Pregon at 67. I think we take that, bro. Oregon, I think this dude is an absolute dog. You know, you let the guys battle it out in camp and you trade away whoever doesn't win, right? And I would trade up again from pick 102, but there's no reason to. And I think at this pick, I would take Oklahoma's Dion Burks. That's my pick, and I'm sticking to it. At 117, best on the board is, I think I would go Grayson Halton here, defensive tackle. At 124, Jacksonville wants to give us 164, 166, and 203. That's a nice little pull in the 7th round, 6th round. 30, 60, 90, 120, 150. 5th round. I was way off. Damn. That's 2 5th rounders. I don't want to trade. I just want to get off this damn mock draft. All right, so Austin Barber out of Florida here is my pick at 123. And that is my 3-round mock grade. I have an A+. Fernando Mendoza, an A. Max Ehenekor, an A. Emmanuel Pregon, Dion Burks, Grayson Holton, defensive tackle out of Oklahoma. And to hell with it, I went and got another offensive tackle that could possibly play guard. And that is my draft. That's what I'm sticking to it, man. I appreciate everybody for rocking with your boy. Shout out, protect your family, loved ones, and always go Raiders. Peace. Much love.